Today we're going to be talking about the states of consciousness. Now, we have 6 states. Number 1 is feeling in 1D. Feeling in 1D is how you are when you were a child, right? When you're a kid, you just feel a bunch of emotions. You don't really have the capacity to think yet, and you're just pretty much feeling everything around you. That's internal state. Now, as for 1D, witnessing, that would just be a straight line. Now, the next one we're going to get to, I'm actually going to draw all of these out. Number 2 is thinking in 2D. So these are your thoughts. These are how you actually form concepts of how the world is inside of your mind. And this is usually where most people are at. Some people say, okay, you're stuck in the 3rd dimension. No, most people are stuck in 2D. When you take a look at 3D, 3D is basically doing things in the real world. And when you have a 9 to 5 and you go from work, home to the club, and then do that cycle over and over again for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many years straight, you are operating in 2D because you're only doing what you're told. You're not making any actions in the real world. Therefore, you don't actually have full access to 3D. 3D is actually doing things out there. I'd say most people who are actually on 3D have freedom of traveling, maybe like around $200,000 a year. Not that there's a financial amount on it, because before then, humans were on 3D because you would have to build your own house and then go hunting outside. Right now, everyone is at 2D, so all they can do is think, but not really make any actions in the real world. I would say most entrepreneurs are on 3D. So then 2D thinking, this is probably where most people are at. Now 3D are actions and 3rd dimensional objects. That's 3D, right? And this is where you can pretty much do things with other people. Maybe a little bit of popularity, cars, you're driving around. You're basically living the real world, right? So I already explained that, so there's no need to re-explain it. And then we have the next one, which most people are not on, but I would say this is where the billionaire CEOs, some of the presidents, I think most people who run a country are on 5D, but some of the presidents are on 4. So 4D is you actually run large-scaled organizations, right? That we're talking about real life. And with consciousness, this means your soul. So your soul is vibrating at a higher level to the point where you have somewhat superhuman ability. I made another video about my telepathic experience. That's something you can do on 4D. Other things you can do on 4D is see through people, basically see people's auras, their souls, and I am currently at 4D. 4D would be controlling others' lives. And you can do things like astral project, dream walking, see into the future. That's all on 4D. And then we get into 5D. 5D is where all the interesting stuff happens. So let's say this doesn't exist for the sake of the video, but I do have proof that these type of things do exist. They just don't stay up on social media. So we're gonna say it doesn't exist. 5D, we have time travel, shape shifting, sort of like ascension, things you see in a sci-fi movie. This is made up. This is a complete fabrication, but I have met a few people who are on 5D and they can do things that are kind of seen as sci-fi, but let's be real, these movies that they're showing you on the screen, they're just telling you the truth in plain sight. They're not hiding anything from you. They're just showing it to you in a way where you think it's fake, which is why society is trained to believe all these things are science fiction. And now that we have a little bit of evidence based off of TikTok that these things are real, because TikTok is really the only platform that actually shows people consistently who can do these things that we think is sci-fi. Now let's say this, hypothetically, I've touched the tip of 5D, right? I wouldn't say I'm completely on 5D, but I've touched the tip. No diddy. 5D is all of your fears are gone. There's no really clear-cut way to get to 5D that I know of. It's just something where you have to just try to raise your vibration through meditation and studying, which is what I do every single day. And I've been doing that for the past 12 years. I've even had days where I've meditated 16 hours straight all day. And then we get to 60. I want you to try and guess what 60 is before I continue. God. 6 in numerology is the number of creation. Whenever 6 is presented, it means what is, like what is existing, right? What has been created, the human body. That's what I would mark 6 as. And 6D is you are creating your own world. This is an unexplored concept. I haven't met anyone on here. I mean, maybe God is on there and we don't know. Maybe that's where God's level is. But this would be like creating your own world. I assume you could just do anything, right? Everything is possible here, and you're just doing to do. So these are all the dimensions and vibrations that you can go through. Like I said, 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D. As for those little examples where they show you guys the square shapes and how it would look in each dimension, I believe that's accurate for 4D, but I believe beyond that, you're just seeing the molecular structure of how things work. I do believe to a certain extent that some humans can access this. I haven't seen anyone do this before, but could be possible.